The heavy oak desk in the quiet corner of a small community center in rural Ohio was dimly lit. It was barely 6 a.m., and the winter frost was still thick on the window panes. Sarah, a local project manager, sat frozen, holding her phone to her ear. On the line was an official from Washington, reading a joint statement just released by Senator Patty Murray and Representative Marcy Kaptur. The statement hit like a thunderbolt. The lawmakers publicly accused the administration of political revenge, claiming federal grant money was suddenly being canceled in districts that voted for Vice President Kamala Harris. They called it an astounding admission of corruption. Sarah's breath caught in her throat. She looked across the dimly lit room at a small chalkboard hanging on the wall. On it were handwritten names of 20 local kids' children from low-income families relying on a crucial federal grant for specialized medical assistance and hot meals. That program was set to launch in less than 3 hours. Canceled, Sarah whispered, her voice trembling, tears welling up in her eyes. Effective immediately. No, please, you don't understand what this money means to these families. It's not about politics for us. It's about survival. The official on the line sighed heavily, sounding completely defeated, before quietly hanging up. Outside, the first snow fell. In less than an hour, the parents would begin driving through the storm, bringing their children to the center, believing help was finally here. Sarah slumped into her chair, the weight of the entire town crashing down on her shoulders. She didn't know who to turn to, and time was running out fast. By 7:15 a.m., the wind outside had grown fierce, howling against the glass of the community center. Inside, Sarah forced herself to stand up, wiping the tears from her cheeks, determined not to let the family see her despair. Then, the heavy front door creaked open. Elena walked in, shivering violently, her cheeks bright red from the biting cold. Tucked tightly against her coat was her 8-year-old son Leo, who wore a faded blue jacket that was far too thin for the freezing morning. Leo had been fighting a severe respiratory illness for months, and today was supposed to be his very first session receiving specialized medical care and warm nutrition funded by the federal grant. Sarah, Elena cried out, her voice cracking with pure exhaustion and relief as she stomped the snow off her boots. We made it through the storm. Leo kept asking me all night if the doctors would finally help him breathe easier today. He said, "Mommy, we're going to be okay now, right?" Sarah felt a sharp, agonizing pain pierce straight through her heart. She looked down at little Leo, whose big, innocent brown eyes stared up at her with complete and total trust. He smiled weakly, clutching a small, worn-out toy car in his mitten. Tears instantly flooded Sarah's eyes, threatening to spill over. She bit her lip so hard it turned white, fighting desperately to hold back a sob. How could she tell this brave mother and this sick little boy that the money was gone? How could she look into those trusting eyes and explain that pencil pushers miles away had just ripped away their lifeline? Elena noticed the dead silence in the room and the heartbreaking look on Sarah's face. The smile slowly vanished from Elena's lips. Her breath hitched, and a single tear rolled silently down her freezing cheek. "Sarah," Elena whispered, her voice dropping to a terrified shudder. "Tell me the grant didn't get pulled. Please tell me you didn't just lose it." The clock on the wall ticks loudly. It has only been 45 minutes since the press conference ended, but inside the small, cold apartment of 10-year-old Leo, time seems to stand still. Leo sits on the floor with his little sister Mai, trying to keep her quiet with a broken plastic toe. In the kitchen, their mother, Sarah, sits with her head in her hands. She is a dedicated pediatric nurse at the local community clinic, a clinic that relies entirely on a federal health care grant to provide free medication to children with rare conditions. Earlier today, when the news broke that the grant had been canceled, Sarah's heart shattered. She had spent the last 2 hours staring at the medical files of dozens of children who wouldn't get their life-saving medicine next week. "Mommy, why are you crying?" Mai asks, her voice innocent and tiny. Sarah quickly wipes her tears, forcing a soft smile. "I'm just tired, sweetheart. Everything is going to be okay." But deep down, Sarah knows it isn't. The political battle thousands of miles away in Washington isn't just words on a television screen anymore. It has reached her tiny living room. The local news anchor's voice drones on in the background, repeating the accusations made by Senator Murray and Representative Kaptur. To the world, this is a fiery political debate about power and revenge. But to Sarah, it is a matter of life and death for her young patients. Suddenly, Sarah's phone buzzes on the table. It's an incoming call from an unknown Washington, D.C. number. Her hand trembles as she reaches out to answer it, fearing the absolute worst. What news is about to come through that phone line? Will Sarah's clinic lose everything, or is there something hidden behind this sudden decision that no one saw coming? Sarah takes a deep breath, pressing the phone against her ear with a shaking hand. "Hello," She whispers, her voice barely audible over the hum of the television. "Is this Sarah Miller, head pediatric nurse at St. Jude Community Clinic?" asks a calm, steady male voice. "Yes, speaking," Sarah replies, her stomach twisting into a knot. "Please tell me what's happening. Is it true? Are our federal funds completely cut off?" On the screen, commentators are shouting about political retaliation and corruption, but the man on the phone speaks with quiet authority. "Mistress Miller, I am calling directly from the executive office. I know you've heard the joint statement released by Senator Murray and Representative Kaptur less than an hour ago. I know you're terrified, but I need you to listen very carefully to what is actually happening behind closed doors right now." Sarah holds her breath. In the background, Lil Mike giggles as Leo builds a small tower out of plastic blocks. Sarah closes her eyes, praying for a miracle. The grant that was paused was not canceled out of revenge, the official explains softly. It was flagged 2 hours ago during an emergency federal audit for massive accounting fraud by local administrators. Funds meant for your sick children were being diverted into private political action funds. President Trump personally ordered an immediate halt to those specific grants to stop the money from being stolen. Sarah's eyes open wide in total shock. Tears spill down her cheeks, but this time, they aren't tears of anger. "Wait," Sarah stammers, her heart pounding against her ribs. "So, the president knows about our clinic." "Not only does he know, Mistress Miller," the voice responds, "he is taking action right now as we speak." What is President Trump about to do for Sarah's clinic that will change everything in the next few minutes? The room goes completely silent except for Sarah's shallow breathing. Outside her window, the afternoon sun begins to set, casting a warm golden light across her quiet kitchen. President Trump signed an executive order just 10 minutes ago, the DC official continues, his tone full of deep empathy. He didn't just protect the federal money from corrupt middlemen. He personally authorized direct emergency funding sent straight to your clinic's bank account, bypassing every single corrupt bureaucrat. By tomorrow morning, your clinic will have double its original funding. No child will miss a single dose of medicine. Sarah gasps, dropping to her knees on the linoleum floor. Tears stream down her face, not from fear or exhaustion, but from overwhelming relief and pure joy. She wraps her arms around Lil Maya and Leo, pulling them tight against her chest. Maya looks up, wiping a tear from her mother's cheek with her tiny hand. "Mommy, why are you smiling?" Maya asks softly. "Because my sweet baby, someone was looking out for us," Sarah sobs, holding her children close as tears of happiness rain down. Thousands of miles away, the television news continues to broadcast heated political attacks and angry speeches about the joint statement. But in this quiet home, the truth is clear. Behind the nosy political storm, President Donald Trump didn't see red states or blue states. He saw a mother struggling to save innocent children, and he stepped in to save them when they needed it most. If this emotional journey touched your heart today, please hit that like button to show support for real stories that matter. Subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications so you never miss another deep breakdown of what's really happening behind the headlines. Drop a comment down below right now. How did you feel when Sarah got that life-changing phone call? Do you believe President Trump made the right call by stepping in directly? Let's discuss it in the comments below. I read and reply to as many of you as I can.